Hey guys, Punter's preview from Wicky round 15, just Instagram live, guys. And we should be sweet here. Let's go. I think we're live everywhere. Awesome. Hope you guys are doing all right. This is the Punters preview for NRL round 15. Guys, if you're new to what we do, what I try to do in here is preview the round of rugby league, mainly from a try scorer point of view, but I'll cover off a couple of things at the end, like SuperCoach and fantasy. I'm going to change things up a little bit, guys. I've been doing like game day picks and adding write-ups every single morning. It's a pain in the ass to do. So what I'm going to do instead is the picks will be in the article, which I'll go through in a second. And I'm just going to talk about it in this podcast. And then I'm just going to link that through to the article. So I'm not adding stuff every single day because it's, super frustrating to do. If you're watching this, if you're just watching my face, it's obviously not as fun. But if you're watching the screen, if you Google Wicky Linktree, all the stuff that we do. So our odds comparison tool, our Discord community with almost 4,500 people, our website, our tips, content, podcast that I'm doing now, all of it is free. If you just check out, if you Google Wicky Linktree, you'll find all our links over there. And obviously follow us on socials as well. So let me get straight into it. It's been a little while since we did this. So what I'm going to do is basically go game by game, go through my picks, go through like the edge v edge, left v right article, very quickly talk about that. And very quickly go through, there you go, the odds comparison tool as well. So let's get into it. I'm sorry, one last note. This Sunday, after the last game, usually Sunday night, Origin 2 teams will be announced as well. So super exciting time to be a rugby league fan. So let's get into it, guys. First game for the week, Sharks v Dolphins. So as I just said, guys, I'm not going to do a full written write-up anymore. If you're keen to sort of know why I like these picks, I'll be talking about it on the podcast and you can check it out here. Sharks v Dolphins. I try scorer picks for that game. Felice Kafusi, first and last try. Or actually, give me 1 second. I have not shot this off to our premium guys. Let me just do that real quick. Whoopsies. Cool. All right, awesome. So, yep, cool. Almost stuffed up real bad. So, all right. Felice Kafusi, first and last try, 81s on 365. Maxi Plath, what apps? This is so off. It's not funny. He scored 2 tries in a game as a rookie about a month and a half ago, and he's priced at 81s on 365 to score the first or the last try. 2 separate plays, which I think is just insane. And then we've got 3 separate players for the first, second, or third try market, ranging between 16 to 19. Jeremy Marshall-King, Cody Nikorima, and Isaiah Katoa. All 3 of those are on Neds, and the Katoa price is also on tab. So, as I said, I'm going to talk you through why I like these real quick instead of writing about them. Look, Felice Kafusi, honestly, that's more just playing the price. He's used to be a second rower for almost all of his career. He's now gotten a bit older and moved to the middle of the field. There is a tiny chance he covers part of the game at edge, and obviously that 81 price then becomes absolutely incredible. But even as a middle forward, the note that I always make about the Dolphins is that, oh, man, sorry, I'm shaking this bloody table, is that Jeremy Marshall-King, the Dolphins hooker, is awesome at putting second rowers over, middle forwards over for tries. You'll see guys like Mark Nichols has scored 2, Max Plath has scored 2, Josh Kerr, I think, has scored 1. So a lot of middle forward tries for the Dolphins. So Kafusi playing the number, Maxi Plath, that is so wrong. It's not funny. I reckon the fair price for him is probably closer to like 51-ish to score the first try. Kafusi maybe like in the 60s. But yeah, 81's clear value for both. The way I look at these first, second, or third try markets, guys, like if you're not betting, like I don't pretty much never bet on middle forwards for that market. I'm betting on guys that play 60 to 80 minutes, pretty much the whole game. Marshall-King, Nikorima, and Katoa are the halves or hookers. They play pretty much the whole game every single week. If you basically times this by 3, so 19 times 3 is 57, 16 times 3 is 48. If you saw those prices for these guys for first try scorer, I would I would smash that. So seeing these types of prices for the first, second, or third try market, that's how I try to pick these off. Katoa, especially like young in his career, but a good ball runner. Cody Nikorima has made a career out of like dummy and going. And Marshall-King does love a scoot out of dummy half. So really clear value in that game for me. I'm just going to check my this is why I usually use another phone. All right, anyways, I'm just gonna have to go on the fly. Sweet. So Raiders v Cowboys. One sec. I'll just double check. If someone can PM me if I've stuffed anything up from a tech point of view, and also feel free to chuck in your comments if you have any questions. I can get through to them as well. All right, cool. So before I get on to game two, I should do this the right way. So we've started doing this article again. It's one of the free things that we have on our website. The left v right edge article. So we're not going to get these right every time because no one knows for sure. If you're a casual footy fan, just please do not go off jersey numbers and what order they're in on the NRL app or any other app. No one knows the left and right, like which players are on the left and the right, aside from us as fans who watch really closely. We have our best educated guests. So Young Sinatra or NRL Fantasy Scout, he helps us figure out sort of the left and rights. I kind of run my eye over it as well. But they do change from week to week, and there's just nothing we can do as fans. There's no place that 100% guarantees that this bloke is going to play on the left or the right. All right, cool. Let's get to it. So what I wrote in the left or right article for this game, a couple of really key points. Hines and Trindle are back together, which means that Hines obviously on the right, Trindle on the left. There was this crazy stat around since Trindle was suspended, how Mulatalo went from like a gun try scorer for the first few weeks of this season to absolute crap. I wrote in here, Ronaldo Mulatalo has scored 1 try in the last 7 games, which is freaking insane considering he's the guy that everyone used to love putting in their multis, right? The other point that I made with this game is you got Tom Hazelton and Mark Nichols off the bench this game. They are 2 of the best middle forward try scorers. I think Hazelton scored like 3 or 4 tries this year. Nichols has scored 2 and he's been close on multiple other occasions. The 2 others, Plath scored 2 in 1 game and he just looks like a nugget. He loves going for a try. I think he's just like really smart with the way he plays. He's sort of always half breaking the line. And Josh Kerr, who's a beast. He's already scored, I think, 2 tries this year, but 100% he scored 1 and looked really good. And my OG boy, Braden Hamlin ULA, I love that guy. So I think he had like a freakish run of try scoring in about 2019 or 2020. He's been sort of in and out the squad with injuries the last couple of seasons. But yeah, if we ever find a juicy price about him, I'll always be looking to go at him. So if you're looking at the screen, guys, this is what we try to do. So obviously it's like how you look at it on TV. So if you're looking at this on TV, you'll see the Dolphins have the ball, for example. It doesn't make much sense if you're not seeing my screen, if you're looking at me. But if you look at the left v right article, it'd be like both stop on the left with Farnworth, and then they're running at the right, Katoa and Ramian for the Sharks. That's how we've kind of written the article. And just very quickly, obviously I've already said my picks, so maybe I won't go through the odds comparison tool, guys, for every single game. Oh, great. I haven't updated this properly. That's awesome. Well, I definitely won't then. The odds comparison tool will be up straight after we do this podcast, guys. All right, let's get to the next game. So Rabbitohs v Broncos. We've got Kolomatongi. He's playing in the middle, but I've only included him in a tip at this price, hoping that he moves to an edge potentially, and he got Cam Murray starting at lock. Or worst case, I think 41s is the absolute lowest I would even look at Kolomatongi as a middle forward. He did score 2 tries a couple of weeks ago, though, and the Broncos are still missing Reynolds and Walsh, so you think it'd be a close game with the Rabbitohs' recent form and the fact the game is in Sydney. But Damien Cook, he got up for us about 3 weeks ago. Last try scored at 51s. Price is 41s for first and last try. The Rabbitohs are much improved. They get Cam Murray back this week as well, and it's a second week with their spine of Latrell Mitchell, Damien Cook, Whiten, and Cody Walker in the halves, which I absolutely love. We always say punt responsibly and stuff, but I do like to have some fun with really high odd stuff. About 3 weeks ago, I got in the Rabbitohs $501 odds to win the premiership, and they've since firmed, I think they're 201 now. But like what I was thinking was they're absolutely screwed, but they were going to get Cody. They were going to get Latrell back. They were eventually going to get Murray back, and he's back this week. And they could be getting Campbell Graham back. I don't know with his whatever injury he has. I don't know if he's out for the season or they're going to risk him for the last couple of months. I hope they risk him because that backline honestly is pretty shit. So if they do bring back Campbell Graham, like you got Cody Walker on the right, Wyden on the left, Latrell fullback, Damien Cook and Murray in that pack. I think it's like, and obviously Alex Johnston on the left wing, and you got like Jai Arrow, Kolomatongi in the pack. Like it's not amazing, but it is decent. And last week, you'll notice I tipped Davy Moale, and he freaking scored like the second or third last try, which is super frustrating. I've loved him for about a season or so now, and he hasn't quite paid off for us, but he will soon. And Jai Arrow at first try score at 51s, which is nuts because he's on the edge. Really like that price as well. Very quickly, guys, left v right article. No clear trends, as I mentioned over here, but oh, I'm looking at the wrong game. That's freaking excellent. Cool. So the one point that I'll make with this game is there's actually two. Sorry. So Rabbitohs v. Did I skip a game? I don't know what I've done here. Whoops, I did skip a game. That's fine. I'll go back. Rabbitohs v Broncos. So I went through my picks. Couple of points for anyone making same game multis or SuperCoach trades, etc., etc. Last week, I thought, wow, dry track up against the Titans. I was actually super keen for Alex Johnston on the Rabbitohs left. But then watching the game, Cody Walker is now on the right. Obviously, he's played almost his whole career on the left because Adam Reynolds has been on the right. But looking at it, I was like, holy, like he obviously had a try assist for Jacob Gagai, who's the right winger. And the Rabbitohs have never gone right, really, because of that sort of Cody Walker dominance on the left. But this really opens up their side. You know, you've got Jacob Gagai, who, look, he's a decent player. But with Cody Walker's ball playing skills, anyone can be a decent player, right? So you got Gagai on the right, you got Alex Johnson on the left as like the two key threats. And I love that, like, obviously Cody Walker's only sort of getting used to playing on the right. But I think as the weeks go on, if you find like a really juicy price about one of Johnson or Gagai, doesn't really matter which winger you go to now, because I think they both have upside at the moment. And the Broncos have considered 53% of their tries through their left side. So that's why I said even more case for Gagai on the right wing to do well. And with the Broncos, I made a point, like, so I've been learning a lot more about sort of rugby league try score stuff this year, because in years gone by, so I've been betting on sort of high odds middle forward try scores for more than 10 years. And like, without being, it is arrogant, but it was very easy to find value and make money off it for most of the last 10 years. But in the last 12 months, because Wicky went viral and like we made a lot of money, and we obviously, like last year, you guys, if you were part of the community, saw how we broke TAB's pricing model and did a few other things. And now there's a lot less value in the sort of big odds stuff. There is still enough, and obviously like we're tipping that stuff most weeks, but I've been learning to sort of read a bit deeper into this stuff. So the other one that I thought of is I'm really now getting big on, if one or two playmakers are out, then who is going to get more balls? So I think the obvious one is Nathan Cleary. If you look at Nathan Cleary, the games that he's been playing and he hasn't, and then you look at Dylan Edwards' stats accordingly, huge change. Essentially, Edwards does a lot better in SuperCoach, for example, when Nathan Cleary's out. But it also translates to try scoring, and it's all just based off touches, right? Like your main guy's out, so your second and third guy get more touches. So I think that's a great point to think about with Adam Reynolds, their right side half out. Jock Madden, a rookie, is playing there. Reece Walsh, best playmaker in the game, arguably out. And Tristan Saylor, who's just come back from injury and doesn't quite look right at fullback at the moment. You best believe that on the left edge, Ezra Mam and Selwyn Cobbo are going to get more ball. Cobbo with the confidence of his Origin performance as well, where he was electric on that left edge. So absolutely love Mam and Cobbo. And for our same game multis, which are only on our Discord, by the way, it's all free, 4,500 people on there. You best believe Mam and Cobbo, at least one of those two, will be part of our multis for that game. Awesome. So I'm going to go back one because I realized I have skipped a game. All right. So Raiders v Cowboys, guys, 6 p.m. game on Friday. This is in Canberra. I had a quick look at the weather and I think it's fine. So I'll roll out with the picks first. Chad Townsend, 46ers on Top Sport. Last try score of 41 on Tab and Dabble. That was first try at 46, by the way. Morgan Smithies, first and last, two separate plays, 61s on Sportsbet. Sportsbet do change their models really quickly. So the whole point of me doing this podcast live is so that if you're watching this, you can't actually see this article yet. You can only see it on my screen. I haven't published it live yet on our site. So the whole point of doing this live is so that you guys are looking at the picks and getting on with us, because like half of these picks will not be around at the price. And the whole point of what I'm doing is to pick off the best prices. So there's no point if you're watching this, if you're seeing our picks at 51, 67, 41, and you've only got one bookie account or the price has been halved, do not get on it because it's stupid. I'm making picks based off prices. So if you're betting on these picks and like I'm tipping 51 and you're betting 36 or something, makes no sense. So please don't do that. But yeah, watch this live or watch the potty later, see what price is available, and obviously get on those. So anyways, Morgan Smithies, as I said, first and last, separate bet, 61s on Sportsbet. Ruben Cotter, 61s on BetRight. Again, prices will change really quickly, but I'm happy with 51s or 56s as well. And last try 51s on PointsBet. Lukey, love him as a ball runner, 34s on Bet365. And Robson, first, second, or third, 16s on Neds. Similar to seeing first try at 48s, which is an insane price. Cool. Rabbitohs. Oh, sorry, before I move on. So I'm going back and forth. All right, this is the last game that I've got the left v right breakdown ready for, guys. The other five, we do a collaboration with NRL SuperCoach Guns, or SuperCoach Guns, sorry, I think it's called. He does the NRL Try Map that I know a lot of you guys love. So SuperCoach Guns, follow him on Instagram or Twitter. I believe the Try Map's going to come out before lunchtime tomorrow, Aussie time or Sydney time. So I'm going to wait on the Try Map to come out, and then I'll do the write-up for the other 5 games, but I'll rip into this one right here. The breakdown, again, no clear trends. The big one, though, is, what did I say? The Raiders concede almost 50% of their tries to the left edge. Yeah, the right side back rower is Jeremiah Nanai. He scored a try, at least one try in 24 of the 52 NRL games he's played. For a back rower to score in every odd game pretty much throughout his career is absolutely insane. He'll probably end up being in our multi. And if he's not, it'll be Hudson Young. So he scored 6 tries in 11 games this season. If you noticed him in Origin, obviously didn't get much of an opportunity, especially not in the role that he would want. But he scored a try, one in over about 3 NRL games that he's played. And he scored the last try in every 13 NRL games he's played. Like, if you can just imagine Hudson Young, game on the line, grubbers in, like pops the ball down to get the Raiders a victory. That's happened twice in the last 2 years, at least that I can remember. Really good performances late in games. All right, so for the rest of these guys, I forgot to update the odds comparison tool, so I'm going to do that straight after our podcast. And I haven't done the left v right write up for the other 5 games. Obviously, you can read that in the article, which will be on our site, Linktree, etc. But for the last 5 games, so Saturday and Sunday's games, I'm just going to roll out, read the tips that are on here and explain why I like them, and then I'll move on. So if you missed it at the start, guys, I'm going to stop doing game day picks and extra write-ups and all that kind of stuff. The picks will be here on a Wednesday evening. I'll explain this on the live pod. Your best chance of getting these prices is to watch this live pod and hit them, because half of these picks will change. And if they do change, all that value is gone. And I bet based on value. Hey, Wicky, do you reckon you could chuck a pick from each game for a lucky 67 in your write-up this week? Look, man, I will not do it in my write-up just because I've already done it. But on our Discord, what we do is I put in a multi for every single game. So I guess you could kind of take my picks from there. Sorry, man, I'm actually trying to reduce how much I'm doing and keep it really simple instead of the other way. But if you join our Discord, I do heaps of, I do a same game multi for every single game. And obviously the write-ups and stuff kind of give you clues as to the players I like anyway. I often get people asking for like locks and stuff. I think that's not the way to punt. Like, there are no locks. I'm going to go on like a 20-second rant here. If you put on multis and that's your main way of punting, if you combine multiple wingers and that's your way of punting, if you're looking for a lock, if you're trying to bet your last $20 trying to win a multi before payday, that kind of shit, I don't condone it. Obviously, punt responsibly, etc. But it actually pisses me off now. I've seen it for 2 or 3 years on a Discord now, and it's just shit. If you're punting, punt on the guy that you think will score a try. Put on a multi a game with your mates or whatever, but that should not be the way you punt. It's super frustrating. But anyways, I'm going to move on. All right, Tigers v Titans, 3 p.m. Again, the Tigers team, they've got, I forgot who now, but they've got a few outs, and they're like, Galvin, their half, Socorro is playing in the halves. Honestly, they've got a ton of outs. The pick I absolutely love for this game is actually David Fafita. Put everything away, put all the stats away, and just don't think about anything. think about the Tigers with half their team missing, just an absolute rabble. Their edge defense is going to be absolute dog shit. You got a 3 p.m. game. You got Kieran Foran next to David Fafita, and all Fafita's been doing recently is just bullying other teams and just scoring tries. So I think he's like between $2.50 to $3 anytime try scorer. If you're going to be doing multis, put him in your multi because he will score a try. Like I'm so bloody confident. On that note, actually, very, very quickly, I forgot to do this at the start, guys. All right, I have forgotten to pop this here, but I'll quickly talk about it. So I've gone Dom Young, Jacob Gagai, and Dave Fafita as my 3 players. So how I do this with the custom markets is that with Top Sport, I do a 2 out of 3 ain't bad, which means I pick the 3 players, the 3 I just told you. Again, if you're in our Discord, you'll see all this stuff. Otherwise, just go to Top Sport, go to BetRight, and you'll see it in rugby league markets. But Top Sport, we need 2 of these 3 to score. The price, I think, is $2.25 for that on Top Sport, $200 maximum. And on BetRight, you only need 1 of the 3, but you need them to score first. So why I love this is because it's super simple to follow, right? Like I make my picks, I look at the prices, I make sure we're not, we're trying to get players that I really like for whatever reason. So Gagai, I just explained the whole Cody Walker being on the right, David Fafita against the Tigers, he'll just bully them. And Dom Young, the Roosters are playing para. Dom Young is going to play on that right wing where you just saw Blake Wilson and Stephen Crichton just smash through para. Look, they do have a I think RC's gone from the centers, and I think Blaze Talangi, I forgot what exactly they're doing, but it's not as bad as last week, but Para's left side is pretty stuffed still, and you got Dom Young, who Joe Manu flicked past, you can see that happening. So anyways, you can find those, the 2 out of 3 ain't bad, and the 1 out of 3 have to score first. You can find those promos on our Discord. I'll put up the links after this potty. All right, awesome. Oh shit, yeah, Tigers started. So Kieran Foran, again, first, second, or third try, 14s on Neds. That left side, he could dummy and go because Dave Fafita's there. He could be following up and like someone passes back on the inside, whatever. 14s on Neds to score one of the first 3 tries. That's equivalent to 42 for first try scorer. Similar, insane price for Kieran Foran, who is a guy who no one thinks will score a try based off looking at him, but he actually does. It's like Jackson Hastings, and he's won us a few good tips over the last couple of years. And my boy, Stefano Tukumanu, FTS and LTS at 41s on Tab and Dabble. It's sad that the price is so low nowadays for him, but it's like what I try to do is watch these guys and get on them before they've scored so many tries that bookies crunch them in. So with Stefano, I've been watching this guy for since whenever he started early on in, like what I love is when rookies start scoring early on in their careers because you're going to kind of identify that this guy is a try scorer. But anyways, playing the Titans, they're missing Tino, they're missing Jolliffe, that middle, even though the Titans attack, I like on that left edge with Dave Fafita, Kieran Foran, Brian Kelly, and Khan Pereira. I think there's a very clear deficiency in the middle of the field which I'm hoping my big boy Stefano can take advantage of. Warriors v Storm. Wade Egan, first try score at 41s on Neds. Incredible price. Man, my fucking phone keeps shaking. Sorry about that, guys. Wade Egan, first try score at 41s on Neds. Neo Corey, first, second, or third, 16s on Neds. Similar to 48's first try score, which is insane for an edge back rower. I will double check, but I think he's the right back row. Why am I saying double check? It's right here. One second. I'm pretty sure. There you go. New Corey should be the right edge back row next to Sean Johnson, which I absolutely love. Seeing a 48s for first try scorer, you got to remember, guys, the Storm team isn't what we know. There's no Munster. There's no Pappenhausen. Their pack is actually decent, but they're also missing Remus Smith, one of their centers, and they're still missing Warbrick on the right wing. So there's actually like quite a few deficiencies in that Storm outfit. Whereas the Warriors, they're playing in New Zealand and they got all the troops back, including Sean Johnson. I'm so keen to watch them. And Roger Tuivasa-Sheck could be making a return. He's at the extended bench as well. And Sean Bloor, first try scorer, 34 BetRight, Top Sport and Sports Bet. Love that. He's been in really good form in recent weeks. All right. So Eels v Roosters, the 7:30 game. This should be a blockbuster for multiple reasons. One of them is, I reckon if the Eels win or Mitch Moses has a really good performance, everyone's going to want him to be selected for State of Origin Game 2. But imagine if he doesn't. imagine if the Eels lose like 30-0 and Moses has a shocker. Like, I've stopped caring about the result of Origin games because I'm so hard. Like, I really care about my try score picks and obviously punt on them myself. But I just love the drama now. Like Mitch Moses, if he does have a shocker, what do they do? Because they seem to have lost confidence. Or the media is saying that people in New South Wales have lost confidence in Nico Hines for various reasons. I don't actually agree with that. I reckon that's absolute bullshit. When you got a guy he wasn't 100% with his calf. New South Wales was a man down. He had that kick that got a try assist for Lomax. So like, give the dude a break. He's had a break after Origin. He gets the fresh shot on Thursday against the Dolphins tomorrow. See how he plays. But regardless, you've picked him as your halfback for game one. You cannot replace him with Mitch Moses. If they do that, that's a freaking joke. But Moses and Hines potentially could be the half scrummer, but we'll see. Anyways, Brendan Hands, first try, 54s on Top Sport, last try, 51 on Sportsbet and BetRight, the hooker for the Eels. Hopgood, first try, 58 on Top Sport. RCG, Campbell Gillard, first and last try, separate plays, 81s on 365. Incredible price for the big man. I think with someone like RCG, he's not necessarily someone who's going to run over the top of you, but I love middle forwards with energy. Like, at least if they're trying to bust through the line, obviously it's not going to happen every odd game, but you don't need it to, right? Early in the game, like him versus Maria Hargraves, you know it's going to be on. 81s is just insane. That price will not last. Absolutely love that for Campbell Gillard. And Radley. So he won for us as a premium pick against the Raiders about 3 weeks ago. Now that he's on the right edge next to Sam Walker, clear line break, paid off for us at first try 34s. Now we're getting at 29s against the Eels on Neds and Top Sport, which I love. Also, Manly v Dragons, Sunday 2 p.m. game, guys. This is an interesting game. So Hamole Alukoatu returns. He's had a couple of weeks off because of his suspension, then Origin, then his calf, like a few different issues, but he's back and he's going to want to have a huge game for Manly to make sure he's selected for game 2. Picks for this game, guys. First and last try, separate plays, Bent Hunt, 34s on TAB. Again, 2 separate plays, first and last on Bet365 this time. Tom Eisenhuth at 81s. There's another reason why I like it. There's been, I think, 2 games I can remember the last 4 or 5 weeks where where Jack Bird was one of them, but like a couple of times, I think it was Sully, Anzac Day. Maybe it wasn't in the last in the last couple of months. 2 different times I remember Eisenhuth filling in the centers. So 81s is an incredible price. Like, I think it's a really good price as a middle forward. And obviously it would be an incredible price if he does have to fill in maybe in the second half for an injury or whatever. In the centers potentially. But yeah, anyways, as a middle forward, I still really, really like 81s, which is why I've tipped it. Carl Lawton, Jacob Little, and Luciano Leilua. Actually, they're separate tips. Little and Leilua are 16 and 13 respectively on Neds to score any of the first 3 tries. Same market on Sportsbet, 15s for Carl Lawton. So I'll talk through these a bit individually. Bent Hunt scored 2 tries in Origin. He's scored the first try crazy amount of times in his career. I think the historical rate for him is like between 15 and 20 or something. And we're getting 34s, which I think is nuts. Little, it's like seeing 48s for him first try score. He scored about 2 weeks ago. I was annoyed because he wasn't a great price that week, and I usually do tip him. I love Little as like a dummy and go. Oh, sorry, like a scoop from dummy half kind of guy. And Luciano Leilua looked super involved last week. Really like him to score a try at that price of 13s on Neds for any of the first 3 tries. Carl Lawton, he's been filling in for the last few weeks now, and I think it's time that he kind of steps up and actually shows his national game a little bit more. And it's hard to do that when you're kind of a fill-in for like he was for Lockie Croker. But I think hopefully he gets selfish for us. 15s, just going near the first 3 tries on Sportsbet. Last game, guys, Knights v Panthers. Jack Cole, the Panthers half, he scored a try, I think it was 2 weeks ago. First and last, separate plays, 34s on Bet365. And Jacob Saifidi, first and last, separate plays, 67s on 365. So both of these guys, 2 separate plays, first and last on 365. Cole at 34s, Panthers half, and Jacob Saifidi, 67, obviously Knights middle forward. The reason I like these, Coles is just like an outlier price. I don't know if the odds comparison tool updated, but no other book yet don't think had him anywhere even close to 30. Clear market value there. and Saifidi. I love the Saifidi brothers. I mentioned to you guys, I've been doing this for a long time, and obviously as a community, we broke TAB last year. We actually broke the whole fucking market because I look at first try score second half now, and it kills me to see like middle forwards at like 41 and 34 and shit. Like I'm showing my age here, but I remember like when I was in uni, maybe 10 years ago, I'd just like go to the pub and play around with TAB prices. And like you'd always see middle forwards at 81s and 101s. And even till last year, most of these guys used to be 67, 81, 101, and we just fucking broke the market. If you look at the odds the premium odds comparison tool has more markets, guys. So first try score, you scroll down, and you're like, holy shit! Like there's just no bookies have good markets anymore, unfortunately for those markets. So I would love to have tipped Daniel Saifidi as first try scorer second half because he won us a tip about a month ago on premium where he was like the third and the last try scorer, something ridiculous like that, at a really good price. But yeah, both the Saifidi brothers, I really like them as try scorers. And I think 67s, I would have loved to get an 81s about Jacob, but I think 67s is definitely like the right amount to sort of be tipping. Right odds, sorry, to be tipping. And if you do find an 81s, yeah, I would love that. Because I think with the Panthers, easy to forget that you got Nathan Cleary still missing, got Liam Martin missing, you got Dylan Edwards coming back off his quad strain. There's always a chance that he gets ruled out late. But yeah, should be an interesting game. Last game before Origin selections, Jerome Luai want to have a big one because there's always a chance that he could be the one that misses out in game 2. So that's it, guys. I'll do a really quick wrap before I get on to Fantasy and Supercoach because I know not everyone likes Fantasy and Supercoach. I'll spend like 2 minutes on that at the very end. But as always, Google Wicky Linktree. After we get off this, the odds comparison tool's here, but I'll update it after this pod. The odds comparison tool, Punter's preview with my picks. I'm going to stop doing write-ups, as I said, but I'm going to talk about it on this podcast. And you can watch that obviously on YouTube. The left v right article, I've done the first 3 games right up, but if you want to know which players are on the left or left and right for every single game, we do our best to try to sort of put that in here for you. And I do a couple of sentences on some of the trends behind left v right stuff. Odds comparison, as I said, it's not updated, but if you don't know about this, guys, absolutely kills me when people are like putting stupid amounts of money, like $100, $200, $300 on random bets, and they'll just like chuck $200 on an anytime try score on like Neds at $2.60. And I'm like, you literally have the free tool here to show you that, 365, you can get 320 or whatever. It's if you are going to be punting, don't just get one bookie. It makes no sense. I would suggest just generally Sportsbet 365, Sportsbet 365 and Neds and Ladbrokes. Like those are the 3 sort of mainstream bookies that everyone should have. Obviously, we do some stuff with BetRight, like the custom markets and stuff, and Top Sport. I like both of those sites because you get like closer to the best prices generally. Top Sport are the smartest bookie, and BetRight are pretty generous with their try scorer markets and their prices, which is awesome. So those are the ones that I definitely recommend. I think that's it. If you're only here for punting, guys, that's it. I'm going to quickly do a couple of minutes of Fantasy and Supercoach. As always, Google Wiki Linktree, join our Discord community, follow us on socials. All you're here for is punting. Thank you, and I'll catch you next week. I'm going to do this every week. Just talk about the picks instead of writing about them. Much easier for me, and you'll get all the info you need on a Wednesday night. So very quickly, guys, I'm going to rip into some Fantasy and Supercoach. So this article's half done. It'll be finished off tomorrow, but you can follow NRL Fantasy Scout. That's a young Sinatra on our Discord. His Instagram that I've linked over here is awesome. I think they've got a few thousand followers, regular NRL fantasy content. And obviously we've got an NRL fantasy channel on our Discord, and he's on there, and so am I. And so is Kyle Bedford, who helps us put this all together. So the 3 of us, the 2 of them put this together, but I'll have my say real quick on here. On that topic, I'll go through my fantasy team real quick. I don't know if I've made I've gone Galvin for wide end just because he's so cheap at the moment. But anyways, this is my team. I'm ranked in the early 20,000s in both Supercoach and Fantasy. I will be making. I love David Fafita. I've already got him captain ready to go. Yeah, my team ain't great, but I'm hoping to make up rank. I've been saying it all season. I want to make up ranks during the Origin period. I am in a good position to do that. I think early 20,000s not great, but I'm hoping to creep up towards that sort of 5 to 10K range by the end of Origin. Hopefully, if you're a new player to fantasy, get on, read this article, join our community. it's the time of the year where this is the worst time to give up. Like, you've done all the boring work of playing the first 10 rounds, but people kind of give up at this time. This is the most fun time to play because you can kind of like make a few decisions. You don't have to overthink it. And by round 20, when Origin's done, you'll have a true reflection of where your team is ranked. And like the last 3 or 4 weeks, a lot of people give up. So, even if you end up like 10,000th or 15,000th for the season, if you're new to this, it's not that bad. Like, I've been playing fantasy and SuperCoach for the best part of 15 years, and I'm ranked 22,000. So yeah, get amongst it. SuperCoach, guys, same deal. I think I'm 23,000 ranked. Last week wasn't great for me, but I only had 14 players in both fantasy and SuperCoach. I didn't expect it to be great for me. I have not done my oh shit. Well, I clearly haven't done anything with my team, but I will. And what have I got? Have I done any trades? No, I have not. Okay, well, I've done nothing with my team, so this isn't super helpful. I've actually done, yeah, okay, I haven't made any changes. This is my team from last week, which is clearly not great. I think with SuperCoach, the thing I'm going to try to do is I'm going to go for upside, as I've been trying to do for most of the season, but it just hasn't bloody been working. You can see that I've got like a Sarko, Dom Young, Manu, a lot of Mitchell, a lot of money, Hines, obviously, and then David Fafita. So I've kind of like pitched my season on the David Fafita wagon. And yeah, just really hoping that I can try to do something different. I essentially, like, because my rank is 20-odd thousand in both fantasy and SuperCoach, I just wait to see who the popular captain options are. And then as long as they're reasonable, then just try to do something different. Because yeah, ain't going so well for me. So I'm just trying to do something different and go for guys with upside, like outside backs and stuff, if and when I can. But that's it, guys. I think we went out for about 35 minutes today. So I'm going to do this every week. As I said, Google Wiki Linktree, check out our stuff. If you're new to everything that we do, almost everything is for free. You can see it all on our Linktree over here. Wednesday evening at 6 p.m. is when I'll be doing the pods. Almost everything from us will be out Wednesday night, and whatever isn't will be out on Thursday around lunchtime. And our Discord is very lively where the NRL games are on. That's it. Thanks for joining, guys. As always, we'll hopefully see you on the Discord. If not, enjoy the weekend of footy. Sunday night, just after the last game, Origin teams are out. Origin is in exactly 2 weeks from today, so it's going to be a huge game in Melbourne. Hopefully, the Blues can win and make we go to a decider up at Suncorp for Game 3. But yeah, quite responsibly. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy all 8 games finally again of NRL action, and we'll catch you there. Thanks, guys.